Well, the weather not fully cooperating here in Pittsburgh, but that has not stopped Steeler Nation from filling the stands at a rain-soaked Acrisure Stadium. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Already here, they'll audible to something else. They'll start with a run by Tracy. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. This defense for the Steelers, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And the catch made by Johnson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've comped it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That is incomplete. You talk about this giant defense. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Milton. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hope it didn't come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Milton. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play, and 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Giants. Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards. And the Giants will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. 7-0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, An open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
They run once more with Taylor. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. You talk about this Giant defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. To throw, it's Milton. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Inside the 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick 6, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit, or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 4. To throw is Milton. To the right side and complete to Washington. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And some space here. He's got a full head of steam. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. He was over 100 yards a week ago, and he's well on his way once again.
Say it with me, partner. Encore, encore. This guy's headed towards getting it done one more time.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Right back to Tracy. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
Push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash and a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Here's Milton. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Milton now to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Milton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Looking to throw. Milton.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And now an audible here into something else. In motion right, that's Hyatt.
And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Back to throw. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Giants are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
Extra point forthcoming. And the lead is now 24. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Off play action. Milton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown On their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
101 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Not liking the look, they'll change the play.
Now receiver in motion left.
And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And no sidestepping that here. He's going to be brought down hard, and it also sets up 4th down.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On the give, it's Tracy.
Gets around him. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Jahmyr Gibbs
as the first half is winding down. And the Giants would extend their lead here just before halftime. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before break. Milton going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there as time expires in the first half. And the Steelers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And this is going to be caught. So they get 2 more on the half's final play, and they shave 8 off this deficit as we head to the break. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Steelers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Now they'll change things up. They'll go again with Tracy.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
They'll look to throw here. He sets to fire deep.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Milton. And he finds Austin complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 46.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want.
He's got a man complete. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. 37 yards.
And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
But now if they wanted to, they could move the ball up to the 1 and go for 2.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because normally the ball's at the 2 when you go for 2. But if they want it now and force the penalty to the 1, but if they wanted to kick it, right, don't they just move it up 5?
Just move it up to the 10.
Right, move it up to the 10 if they still wanted to kick it.
The Steelers will line up for the 2-point.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds at midfield, so a solid return to the 50.
After return to midfield, I just wish we could open up the heads of the offensive and defensive coordinators, because right now the wheels have to be spinning because things just changed. Offensive playbook just opens up, and now on defense, do you play aggressively or do you lay back?
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Steelers, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. Following the fumble recovery, Milton going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Taylor. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. 38 yards. And the Steelers have got it back to within a score. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2.
The Steelers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Looking to throw. Milton. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Running left is Tracy. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
The terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Hyatt there to grab it.
And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
Oh, they're changing this at the line.
They'll try and throw for it here.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And his carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to be met at about the 43.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Well, they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and sneak it here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll go with a keeper. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And his kick here is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And some room to work. Inside the 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
What a way to wrap up the week in the NFL. All tied on this Monday night as the kick is away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Here's 1st and 10. Well, looks like they'll move things around here.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, twisting away. Oh, and now some space to operate.
And this will be a Giants first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Here's 1st down. Here's Tracy.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. On the run is Tracy.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
This is 1st and 10. On the ground, here comes Tracy.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Second and 9 now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Down. Tracy
on a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. 1st and 10.
Here's a give up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now here's a timeout as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to put an end to a wild Monday night. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Steelers who will have the first chance to go down and score here in overtime as we are back underway. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
You think back to halftime, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here's we begin overtime. They're 1 drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game, because they say each game is its own entity. But within a game, I think they all believe in momentum, and they certainly have it going on their direction right now.
Operating from the gun, Milton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Milton.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Charles, any chance they go for it here?
I think that there's a chance. They have to consider it because of the way they played offense in this game. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Look at the points that they've put up. They feel confident that they can keep it going. But the risk is, and the downside is, you don't get it here, you've set up your opponent in really good field position.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on fourth down. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on fourth down. Back to throw again. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on second down. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on third down, Milton.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
This was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And they need 5 yards on third down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive.
Running left, Taylor.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
124 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Back to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Steelers,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants,